guys, it is Aoife from Fred Weasley Died Laughing, and I am here to do my TBR Takedown wrap up, which is also my first wrap up of January 2016. So I had a really great reading week. It's the first time I've actually ever vlogged a readathon as well, and I had a lot of fun doing that. I decided not to do the wrap up at the same time as the vlog because I was editing my vlog yesterday and I still haven't filmed anything from today that I need to add on. But it's already like 20 minutes long and I don't know how it got so long, just all those tidbits adding together, so it would just be too long if I put the wrap up in as well. So I'm doing my wrap up now, and then you guys can see the November, so it was in my November book haul. This is basically about a dog who, he has a few different names but in the book, but we just call him Bailey, and it's about a dog called Bailey, and it's where every time he dies he's reborn as another dog, and he's trying to figure out what his purpose in life is, because every time he's thought that he has found his purpose, he gets reborn and he has to try and figure out what he's supposed to do in this life. And it's just an amazing exploration into kind of how humans treat animals and how animals look on humans. And if anyone is a dog lover, if anyone owns dogs, I really highly recommend people to read this book because it's absolutely amazing. It is a fiction book, but the way Bailey thinks literally made me look at my dogs and say, are you thinking the same things? And it just filled me with such love for my dogs. Just Bailey's unconditional love for his people and how he just wanted to make them happy and how he just wanted to be with them all the time. It was just so beautiful, and I just really adored it. The author of this actually wrote 8 Simple Rules for Dating My Teenage Daughter, which was turned into a TV show, which I didn't know before I picked it up, so there is an interesting tidbit. And I think this is also becoming a movie next year starring Bradley Cooper, if IMDb is right. So yeah, so that is pretty exciting. So obviously this was a 5-star book for me, and it is just absolutely beautiful. There is a second book to this called A Dog's Journey, and I will 100% be reading it. I will be buying it and I will be reading it because this has been I'm so glad this has been one of my first reads of 2016, because what a way to start a year of reading, because this was absolutely beautiful and I adored it. 5 out of 5 stars. The next book I read was Mind Games by Kirsten White. This is a book that had been on my TBR shelf for over a year, and this one is about a girl called Fia who has a sister called Annie, and Annie is blind, but she also has kind of psychic powers where she has visions of the future. And she and Fia end up getting enrolled into this school, and it turns out that this school is kind of enrolling a lot of girls with all these different kind of abilities, like abilities to read minds and abilities to read feelings, and then obviously psychic visions like Annie. And it turns out as well that this school isn't quite very nice. It is a little bit cruel. It kind of is forcing the girls to do bad things that they don't want to do using their powers, and they end up manipulating Fia into working for them to protect Annie, because they say they'll kill Annie if she doesn't work with them. And Fia has a very unique power where she has killer first instinct. She is able to have this amazing instinct and to tell her what to do things, and if things are wrong, if people are kind of lying to her, she has this feeling that things are wrong, so she knows in situations how things will kind of go. She knows, to duck down. If someone's about to stab her in the back, she literally a split second before she knows to duck down to miss that attack. So it's like that. I didn't have any particularly strong feelings for this book. I gave it 3.5 stars. I just felt no emotional connection towards the characters. It's a very fast-paced book. There's a good bit of action in it, but I just wasn't completely keen on it. It was a very fast read. I read it within a day, and yeah, like, it was enjoyable, but it just didn't blow my mind. The characters just ended up feeling a little bit wooden to me. I felt like I really wasn't getting to really know them. I was kind of being told that Fia was this protective sister and she loved Annie, and, you know, she felt really, really terrible. She was kind of going through this really weird kind of mental, like, not really a mental break, but she was dealing with a lot of things mentally, with things that she had done, and trying to kind of forgive herself for those things. And that was interesting to read, but I still felt like I wasn't really knowing her and knowing who she was, other than these bad things she was doing. And I would have liked to see more of that. Maybe we'll get more of it in the second book. I think I will read the second book. I wouldn't be in a rush to read it, but I'll read it eventually. And as I said, I gave this 3.5 stars. The next book I read has been one of my highly anticipated reads of 2016, and that was Hidden Bodies by Carolyn Kepnes. I was lucky enough to get a copy from NetGalley, an early edition copy, to review, and so a huge thank you to NetGalley and the publishers for that. It was absolutely amazing to be able to get it, and because this book isn't being published, I think, in the US until February 23rd, and then I think it's sometime in January for the UK. I'm not 100% sure though. But this anyway it follows Joe, who we first met in You, and in You he was stalking this girl. It was all through second person narrative, and it was very, very creepy. I gave that book 4 stars. I really, really enjoyed it. I found Joe a fascinating character, so I was really excited to go on kind of this next adventure with him. And this book was very, very interesting. It's written in a different style than You was. It's written in more of, you know, Joe is telling us what he's doing. He's not really talking to someone the way he was talking to Beck in You. And this kind of takes them in completely new places, both mentally and physically. He ends up moving away, going to a new place, meeting new people, exploring new options, and I really enjoyed seeing him do this. I kind of felt him grow a lot as a character. He kind of came out of his shell, and when I say that, I mean he wasn't just like sitting in a bookstore all day the way he was in You. He was going out and doing things and really kind of realising he could be someone. And of course he's a complete psycho. He was a stalker in You. He's like so much more in Hidden Bodies, and like, we shouldn't like him. As a reader, I should be appalled at him, but for some reason I really, really like him, and I really want things to go his way all the time, and I really, really worry about him. So I was literally on the edge of my seat for about 50% of this book. Once I got into 50%, we had new characters who I really, really liked come into it, and I just didn't know what was going to happen with them, what was going to happen to Joe, whether he was going to slip up and do something stupid. I had no idea, and I was just like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. So it was just such a thrilling read for me. I just really, really enjoyed it out of all the places it took me, and I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. And when I finished Hidden Bodies, I picked up Demelza by Winston Graham, and this is the second book in the Poldark series, and this went for the challenge of reading a second book in a series, and then also reading a book with fire colours, which is the lucky colours for 2016, and as you can see, this has beautiful fire colours on it. And this basically just follows Demelza, who is a character in the Poldark series, and it's kind of exploring her life a little bit more, her relationship with Ross, who is obviously Ross Poldark, and just a few different things happening in the book, within the people in the book, and the town, and all sorts of things in the mining community. This is a good book. It took me a little bit to get into it. As I've said in my vlog, I have watched the first season of Poldark, so I knew what was going to happen in this book, as the first season goes on events in the first 2 books of the series. So I did know what was going to happen, but after about a quarter of the way through, I'd found it quite slow reading. Now, the events themselves are quite fast paced, the timeline is fast paced, but the reading itself was a little bit slow for me. I wasn't too interested in all the things about the mining community and the mines closing and a mining company opening up. Like, that's just a little bit boring to me. I was much more interested in Demelza and Verity and Ross and what's going on in their lives. But after a quarter of the way through, it kind of picked up a little bit, and I really kind of got into the swing of it, and I haven't quite finished it yet. I'm on 386 pages out of about 520, so I will finish it tonight, and I think I'm probably going to give it a 4 out of 5 stars. So yeah, so that is all I have read this week at the moment. Hopefully if I finish Demelza, I can go on and try and read a short story before, or a novella before 12 o'clock, basically before midnight, before TBR Takedown is over. But I've had a really good time doing it, and I really hope you guys have too. If you took part, please let me know what you're reading, and I hope that you go out and check out my vlog, but again, it's a bit long, so you don't have to if you don't want to. And I will see you guys again during the week.